Happy Tuesday, y'all. Welcome for those of y'all that are hopping on. I hope you're having a good day today. If you can, in the comments, if you're viewing, we're live on both Facebook and Instagram. Just tell me hey, so I can see who is here. As always, appreciate y'all for tuning in with me. And just waiting for a few more people to get on, and then we will get started. If you can, please share this with a friend or on your timeline for others. Just a few more seconds and then we'll get started. A few more seconds, y'all. All right. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. My name is Tari Kaya Allen, and I am a speaker and a new author of a book that I have out called Mom Keys to Mental Peace. And my overall mission is to empower millennial mothers to become healthy women through transparency, revealed truth, and love. So all that means is that, every time I come here and talk with you all and share content on my social media pages, I'm just trying to encourage moms through telling my story, through what I've been through for motherhood, what I'm still going through, and some things that I've overcome. And I'm just hoping that our discussion and talks together can help bring some type of revelation to your situation. Sorry, somebody's calling. All right, y'all, so let's hop into it. So today's talk is based on self-care. And today I'm going to share some self-care tips for busy moms. Now, I know as a mom, our lives, our days are busy, period. Especially if you're a working mom or even a stay-at-home mom, just being a mom, period. Our day is full. We're very short on time. Time is limited. There's always something to do, always something on the to-do list. And if you're anything like me, if I'm not doing anything, there's probably something that I could be doing and I just haven't. So us being busy as moms, that's something that's not going to go away. I think I've shared that before. We're going to always be busy. We're going to always have things to do. So with that being the case, we cannot use that, I'm too busy or I don't have enough time as an excuse for self-care or lack of self-care. We have to be intentional about our time with self-care. We have to plan and schedule this time. And I just wanted to come and talk to you about the importance of self-care and some ways that you can implement it into your life daily. All right. So let's start off with the definition of self-care. I feel like it's a word that's thrown around a lot. I see it on social media all the time, making sure you're doing your self-care, your mental peace, this, that, and the third. But what does self-care mean? So in my research, the definition of self-care is the practice of taking action to preserve or improve your own health. And another way that it was told is that self-care is a practice of taking on, that sounded weird. All right, self-care, practice of taking on an active role in protecting your own well-being and happiness. So there were two words that stood out to me in this definition. First off, it said that self-care is a practice. And we know anything dealing with practice is something that you're doing more than once. It's something that you're doing over and over with the hopes to improve. It's something that means that you have room to improve, and that the first time you do it is probably not going to be right or to its fullest potential. So if you've never done self-care for yourself before, or you're not really sure what it is something that you can practice. It's something that you can work at. It's something that you can fail in and succeed in as well. So to me, that gives me some relief that self-care isn't just this one box, check all type of thing. It's something that I can practice and that I can get better at. It's something that I can work towards to improve on if I'm not doing it well. And the second part that stood out to me in the definition of self-care is that you have to take action, or it's playing an active role. So it means that I have to actually do something. I can't just screenshot memes about self-care and screenshot lists for what to do for self-care and talk about it and stuff, but I'm not doing the self-care. And I think that's something with our generation and so much access to information. We take in so much information, but we hardly ever apply it. And wisdom is knowledge applied. So if you have wisdom and resources on self-care, like I said, I see a lot of it out on social media and a lot of people talking about it. But if you're seeing it and screenshotting but not doing it, then you're not doing self-care. You're just hoarding information. And that's not what we want. So again, those two things stood out to me, that self-care is something we can practice and get better at, and it's something that takes action on our part to actually be done. We have to get creative with, making time for self-care and what self-care looks like to us. Because if we don't implement self-care into our lives, we're doing more harm to ourselves than helping ourselves. And usually we don't have time because we're doing something for everything else. Our kids, our spouse, our job, things in the community. But if we aren't filling ourselves back up and taking care of ourselves, if we aren't preserving our health or improving our health through self-care, then we won't be healthy enough to show up for our loved ones and to be there for them. I will never forget talking about self-care and stuff like this. It's made me think about, anybody remember that movie Soul Food? It's a good 90s classic with Vivica Fox and Nia Long and all of them. And y'all remember the grandma. She she had diabetes or like high blood pressure and had to get her leg cut off. And due to that, she had to stay in the hospital and was not able to, be home with the family and stuff. And the family is like just started breaking down without her presence there. But if you think about it, the grandma on that movie was unhealthy because of, the type of food that she was eating. She was a larger woman, so I'm sure that she was not exercising or working out or doing anything self-care at all. She clearly was a woman that served her family, that was there for her family, and gave a lot of herself. And I will say in the Black community, that usually is the mirror that we see of a mother in our family. Especially the older women, is somebody that's constantly giving. Yes, you're right, Lisa. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Somebody that's constantly giving. And as a result of that, she was sick and not able to be there for her family. But, a lot of women in the past had to deal with survival more so than self-care, or taking care of their family because there was no one else that was going to do it over self-care. And I learned that quote or that tip from, I shared this in a post before, a show I was watching on Netflix. It's actually a documentary called In My Mother's Garden. And she pointed that out. And it was just a huge revelation to me that, we have really come a long way as women, as mothers in the generation. The picture of a mother has been presented to us many ways over time. But I'm grateful that, in this generation, this day and age, that people are seeing the importance of mothers taking care of themselves so that we can be there for our families the way that we want to show up for them. All right. And self-care, it can be something that you implement, a few minutes at a time in your day, or you can have a whole day dedicated to it. You just have to figure out what works for you. what works best for you. And honestly, self-care doesn't look the same for everybody. I know when I hear self-care, sometimes I think of like going to the nail salon and getting your hair and stuff done. I will say for me personally, the nail salon is not relaxing to me. I don't feel like I'm taking care of myself there. Yes, the whole upkeep of your nails and feet and stuff, but just that whole process, to me, I don't like it because I don't know the type of mood the person that's doing my feet is going to be in. I don't like somebody playing over my feet. If you're going to do it, I need you to do it. So if I'm irritated by what's going on in the nail shop, then I'm not taking care of myself or my mood or my emotions. So again, you have to find what works for you. Now, I had this really good revelation about self-care and relation to our cars. Now, I know a lot of women, some women are into cars and know stuff, but for the most part, all we do is drive and gas. That's pretty much it as far as maintenance. Oil change and all that, I need some type of a reminder or an alarm. It's definitely not something I'm on top of myself. So just think about our cars. They need oil changes. They need their tires rotated. Sometimes we need our tires changed. There's some work that needs to be done under the hood, and we constantly have to put gas and stuff in our cars. So if you are a person that lacks in doing those things to your car, it doesn't take long for you to figure out that some things are going to start acting up in your car. You're going to start hearing some sounds. Certain things will stop working. The car will not be at its fullest potential of what it was created to do. There are certain limits that will be put on the car. I know if some things going on with your tires or under the hood or whatever, some cars can only drive locally in town and you can't really go out of town. So keeping that in mind with, our car and how we're supposed to keep up that maintenance, that's what self-care is for you and for your mind and your body and your soul. It's the maintenance for those areas in your life. It's the upkeep for those areas in your life. And if you aren't filling up your mind, body, and soul and tending to it and doing those maintenance things that are needed, then you're going to be limited in your performance for your family. Then you're going to be breaking down and not fully, together and presented to your family the way that you need to be and the way they need you to. So there are 4 types of self-care that I'm going to share. Again, like I said, self-care looks different for anybody. I feel like based on our definition, it's anything that preserves or improves your health, or it's anything that is protecting your well-being or your happiness. So anything that makes you happy, anything you feel like is feeding you and lifting you up and energizing you, then I say, hey, do that for your self-care. But again, I'm going to share 4 different types of self-care. So the first type of self-care you can do is something physical with your body. So that can be walking, exercising, stretching, just something where your body is moving and your blood is flowing and the oxygen is moving and going through your body. If you don't realize it, a lot of us have a stagnant lifestyle if you don't, work out regularly or move your body. And your body just sitting stagnant for, hours at a time, days at a time, weeks at a time is not healthy for your heart. It's not healthy for your blood system. It's not healthy for your brain to just, hardly ever move in your body at all. I know that is definitely something that I've noticed when I do start to move my body. I notice that I feel a little different, a little looser, less tense and stressed because you're releasing some toxins and moving your muscles. So if you are someone who doesn't move your body, I highly suggest that you look into something that you like to move and get your body moving for self-care and to build you back up in that area. Another type of self-care that you can do is something that will give your brain a boost. So some type of exercise for your mind. This can be like writing in a journal if you're artistic, sketching or writing out a drawing. If you like to meditate, I know I shared that on our Mom Life Balance weeks on ways to do meditation, either with devotionals or like a guided meditation where someone is speaking and telling you, what to think, what to do with your body and things like that. Or you can read a book and listen to a podcast. I'm a huge podcast junkie. I love, love, love podcasts. And I know Spotify has great podcasts, or sometimes I'll just pull up something on YouTube and listen to it there. I really like to listen to motivational speakers, some pastors, other women who advocate for mothers and things like that. So just make sure that you're giving your brain some type of maintenance and self-care by working that muscle and taking in new information and, really just thinking and using your brain and not just stagnant and mindlessly scrolling through social media for hours and hours at a time. No, find something that will stimulate your mind, as Smokey would say. From Friday, stimulate your mind, man, but with something educational. If you stimulate your mind with the other stuff, hey, that's your business, boo. No judgment. This is a no judgment zone. All right. Another way that you can do self-care is to pamper yourself. So this is like those spa days, hot baths, candlelit baths, maybe going shopping, so a little retail therapy, not too much if you're on, a budget and financial goals, or simply taking a nap. Who knew that taking a nap could mean pampering yourself? I know I took one a few minutes before this Tuesday talk, and I feel rejuvenated, filled back up. So I'm definitely here for team naps. I'm going to miss my naps whenever I go back to work and having that free time. So if you are able to, I highly suggest that. Again, the spa days, the hot baths, and those are some things that you can do at home. You can give yourself, putting on some nice lotion that smells good, making sure your skin is fresh, doing a nice facial. I'm really into skincare, and I will say when I'm doing my facial cleaner and facial toner and lotions and stuff, I do feel like I'm taking care of myself, that I'm filling myself back up, that I'm refreshing myself, and definitely a good way for self-care for me. And last but not least, to hang with your friends. So I don't know about y'all, but when I'm with my crew of girls, we are constantly laughing. Laughter is such a great self-care tool for your body. As the old saying goes, laughter is medicine for the soul. And that's what we're talking about here, that mind, body, and soul care. So hopefully when you're with your friends, y'all can have a good time. Y'all can laugh. Try maybe going out to eat for lunch or dinner with your friends. I know we love some food. Anytime food is involved, that is a good time for some self-care. As I've shared before, I'm a part of a small group called God, Goals, and Girls. And we meet up about every 2 weeks out of the month. We're in a group chat where we kind of talk throughout the week and give each other encouragement, ask for prayer, things like that. And we also use the YouVersion Bible app. I've shared that too. And we do plans together, devotional plans together in the morning. So I really love that. I also have a group of friends that we work out together. And I love being around motivated women that are active with their bodies. So that goes back to, the moving your body. That's a 2-for-1 right there. To work out with friends and be able to laugh and have a good time. Like, come on, you just winning all around right there. And have game nights. So I think we underestimate game boards and game nights and cards and stuff like that. The times that I've done it, I've had such a good time. And it's kind of like guided fun or guided play. Again, this is where you're laughing, you're having conversation, you're talking, you're really giving and receiving. So you're being filled up with self-care, but that also puts you in the position to speak life into somebody or encourage them or lift them up. And there's nothing that makes me feel better than when I'm encouraging somebody or when I'm lifting somebody up. So highly, highly suggest those things. And like I said at the beginning, we have to be intentional about self-care. Yes, we're busy. Yes, we're short on time. That's not going to change. Nothing is going to change about that. So we have to plan and schedule our time for self-care. Again, as I've said, I'm into my planners. I'm into lists and days and things. So if you're looking through your calendar and you notice, hey, I haven't moved my body. I haven't given my brain a boost. I haven't pampered myself or hung out with any friends or anything. Be intentional. Yes, Lisa, game nights are definitely lit with us. I don't know if you're sending the message early or not. It seems like a delay. I'm seeing it like after I talk about it. But whatever. But yes, you have to be intentional. So write it down in your calendar. Write it down on the list. Reach out to your homegirls. Reach out to your friends. Hey, y'all, we need some self-care time. What's a good day? What's a good time for everybody? What's the place y'all want to go? You have to reach out and be intentional. Again, you can't just screenshot and hold this information about self-care in your phone. You have to be active and move and push forward with it to see the benefits of it. Okay? We want to be around for as long as we can. We want to be able to give to our families from a whole place, because when we're giving from E, that's when that frustration comes in, that irritation, when you start feeling overwhelmed. Going back to the example that I gave of the car. If you're not giving to your car an oil change, tire rotation, all those things, it will start making sounds, not working to its full potential. And that's equivalent to, your body feeling overwhelmed and stressed and anxious due to lack of self-care. All right, so that's all I have for y'all tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. If you are interested in purchasing a book, on Instagram, the link is in my bio. On Facebook, I will drop the link in the comments. And I also have some on hand if you would like to inbox me to get one. Thank you again for tuning in with me tonight. And be on the lookout, for more content that I'll be sharing this week on self-care. All right. Bye, y'all. Good night. Happy Tuesday.